What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge and we are back today with a quick video update in regards to the milestones and ongoing events that are live now since reset. So a couple new things. If you guys haven't checked it out, the Nexus chapter 1s and 2, previously there was an issue with the release, but now these are live, so we can get this chance to really build up on Dark Beast shards as well as Absorbing Man and Gear Turret 17 mini uniques, really featuring and assisting us in the farming of Dark Dimension 6. Having said that, another notable update here is we got a couple of things. We have this live coordinated assault. So we've seen this before with the Alliance ones. Pretty business as usual. This is a 5-day event by spending Iso-8 energy. We can break down the milestones later, but as you can see, this is an opportunity for us once again to build towards the month-long event by collecting those gems of Satorak. So we'll take a look at that real quick. It's pretty straightforward as what we've seen before. And last but not least, we have this Bounty of Asgard coming up. This milestone that starts tomorrow, essentially by scoring milestone points by spending of the apples of Idun in the event store, earning war credits, which is something that we've been used to in the last couple weeks here, as well as taking advantage of bonus impact from battling with nowhere characters, as this is going to grant us additional points, but only if they're leveled up. So first and foremost, just head over to campaign, guys. As I noted earlier, the Nexus chapters are available now, so we can actually go through and play them out. Hopefully there's no more glitches going through with that, as previously there was an issue where we could get through some of it, and then obviously it was then pulled back. The milestone for coordinating assault, similar to what we've seen before in the past. Looks like this is going to be a 5-day event, working with your Alliance members. I already kind of went through and did my refreshes just to get a sense, of how many points we can do in the first 15-20 minutes here, and it gives me a calculation here in terms of what that's going to translate to a milestone. So really what we want to be focusing for, guys, if you have especially if you have 20+ members that are pretty active and obviously contributing using the Iso-8 energy, we really want to be focusing on capitalizing on as much of these gems of Satorak as we can. So you can see here at milestone 17, 380,000 points. This is pretty much the last point of impact in terms of what we can use to get added to the milestone. So having said that, milestone 17 is what everyone should be focused on. Afterwards, obviously everything after that, I do believe it's gonna be a little harder. It might even be potentially whale territory, just in terms of the milestone points that's going to be needed from the group as a whole. But for sure, we've seen in the past with these events that generally getting up to the featured monthly event is usually free to play friendly, so as long as you have an active alliance. And even with the scoring here, really the only way to add points is by spending Iso-8 energy and then earning these ally supply orb fragments, which I'll go over in another milestone. But generally pretty straightforward, guys. Try to do what you can. Save up on the Iso-8 refreshes if you're able to, and remember, there's a web store milestone as well where we need to utilize power cores. You can obviously leverage that by spending power cores to refresh your Iso-8 4 times a day, and that's going to also help. So pretty straightforward there. The Bounty of Asgard milestone. So this is the second milestone I noted earlier, and there's a couple of things happening in tandem as well. We have this Valhalla Vanguard milestone as well. So maybe let's talk about this Vanguard one, just because it's more simpler. The icon, for some reason, the avatar is not showing here, but this is actually the Apple of Idun. And again, this is kind of what's tied back to that bounty, where we spend these apples of Idun in the event store. It's going to add additional progress to the Bounty of Asgard, and then we can also additionally earn them by battling in the campaign nodes, and that's just going through campaign and seeing which nodes are bonus, as well as the daily free claims, which we haven't seen yet, as well as limited time offers. So as you can see, this looks like a small milestone, and that's because it's going to be repeating 5 times. So there's actually a total of 1,000 points here that you can accumulate for the apples Idun. On top of that, we also have what I noted earlier, the allied supply orb fragments. In order to take advantage of this, guys, make sure you are actually doing raids each day. So very simple, 100 points per raid battle, and it goes up to a maximum of 1,500 points. So essentially, just got to make sure you're doing 15 raids a day. Super easy milestone to hit. So make sure you guys are doing this, especially with the Greek raids where you can go through alpha, beta, gamma. The sim raid is going to be extremely effective just to accumulate these points. Hit the 15 raids a day, and you're going to be able to capitalize on these free milestone points. That's going to assist you through the other ones. Last but not least here, the Bounty of Asgard. Now that we have that context, we can utilize this information. And there's a couple of things you want to focus on, right? This is obviously going to have some rewards in the leaderboards, but we want to be focusing on the rewards that are achievable and that are within our arm's reach. So by scoring here, it's a couple things. Spending the apples of Idun in the store is going to allow you the opportunity to add points. You can also earn war credits from battling in war, obviously, and also following the war battle, and as well the supply store little gimmick that we can take advantage of. So I'll show you that after this, but really the big notable factor here is playing with any of these nowhere characters. And if you have anybody that's beyond gear tier 14, 16, 17, and 18, if you have those characters built up, this is where the notable impact is going to be coming from. If you're like myself and you don't have any of these characters built up, that means each time you battle with them, you're going to be getting about 5,000 points per war. There's 3 wars. That's going to give you 15,000 points right off the bat if you don't want to invest in anything. So that's still pretty notable. Just make sure if you guys have these characters ready that they're not on defense and that you are able to use them even for playing. Playing means they don't have to win. They can go through and just attack, and you're still going to benefit from that. So that then leads us to the question, how many points do we want to get then, knowing the limitations of our nowhere team? Having said that, there is a featured item once again that we've seen in the trend, and you always want to be focusing it for these kinds of events that funnel into the month-long event. So in this case, it is this milestone 15 mark, being the Destroyer Gauntlet. That's set at 76,800 points. And like I said, if you don't have a nowhere team built up, that's going to give you 15,000 right there. And keep in mind, we're also getting points from spending the apples that we get earlier on, right? So that's 5,000 again. So right off the bat, we can do already, at least we know 20k out of the 77 is covered from us just going through the daily motions of raids, as well as battling in war 3 times. The rest is going to be pretty much the credits that you get from war. Either that's battling as much as you can, earning these war credits, and hopefully there's some more additional bonuses from the login. So let me show you guys what I was talking about earlier. So if you do head to the supply store here and head over to the war store, you are able to actually utilize the star credits here for an additional 500 war credits each time too. So this is obviously going to help. Everything's going to help, but what we've seen with these events is we just need to stay on it and maximize the free milestones that we can, and then generally it is achievable if you are active in the game and able to partake and do as much as you can. And that means going through war, winning as much as you can, refreshing for energy when you can, and being able to obviously farm those fragments from apples of Idun, and then utilizing those apples in the store to generate those points. But that's it for today, guys. That's a quick update in regards to the events and upcoming. Thank you as always. Do let me know what you think in comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.